This is Rick, and this is Burn After Reading. So, I didn't know much about Gannon's murder case until just recently. I never looked into it, and I didn't know much about it. It actually wasn't until I learned of two grifting true crime content creators creating a paywall so that people could see autopsy murder photos of a naked child. It's no wonder why people think that the true crime community is such an unethical place, because it is. But from what I did look at, it's heartbreaking. When you watch the videos of Gannon's biological mother and you hear her speak, a person would have to be less than human not to tear up. I'll give a brief description of the crime, but I'm not going to do a deep dive into it. You'll just have to go elsewhere and learn more about it. There's a lot of information out there. But Natasha was sentenced to life in prison without parole for the 2020 murder of her stepson, 11-year-old Gannon. Natasha was convicted of first-degree murder by Colorado court, as well as several other charges, including first-degree murder of a child by a person in a position of trust and tampering with evidence. She pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity, but to keep a long story short, that shit didn't fly in court. According to Gannon's biological mother, Landon Hyatt, she described her son as happy, energetic, and full of life. He loved sports, riding his bicycle. Sonic the Hedgehog, he loved that character. He loved playing outside with his friends, and he took a lot of pride being a big brother to his sister, Layla. So you could imagine my dismay when I went on YouTube and I read the headline of a video from Cinema Shogun that a popular true crime YouTube creator named Zavgirl and some other no-name twit named Natasha Cooper was promoting live streams to view autopsy pictures of Gannon's body via their own paywall. I was disgusted, angry, and heartbroken that any empathetic person would want to pay money to see a dead child. What Zavgirl and Natasha did is straight from a Carney act, asking people to step right up and see such oddities. Now, you would think that after the backlash and outrage that these two women, and I use that word women loosely, you would have thought that they would have taken down the video from their paywall and just make an apology either in video or written form. But that didn't happen. Instead, they doubled down and stood by what they did. I shouldn't be surprised with Zavgirl. After all, if anyone remembered last year, Kylie Rodney. This was a girl that went missing, and there was a lot of speculation on what happened. And I think the biggest thing is when she basically simped for Ryan Upchurch. He is a famous independent musician, and he was saying some very just disgusting things about blaming other people for putting her in a child pedo ring, and at one point saying that she didn't exist, or that she did exist, but her name wasn't Kylie Rodney, she was an actress. And that case turned out that Kylie Rodney, it was basically just an accident. She drove her vehicle into water and she drowned. So anyway, in Zavgirl's comments, I assume on YouTube, someone wrote, "Hey Zavgirl, would you still think putting up autopsy pics of a child would be cool for science if that child was yours? Your friend's child? Your little brother or sister?" Zavgirl responded, "Yes ma'am, I would definitely be okay with it. Everyone is different, so stop thinking your way is the only way. I respect people who are sensitive to that, but if you're asking me, yes, I would 100% be okay with that. Now, Natasha wrote a big giant statement on her YouTube page. I'm not going to read all of it, it's too long. However, feel free to go find it and you can read it for yourself if you wish, but here are some of the lowlights. Who are any of you to judge the decisions I make? What moral authority do you have to judge anyone else's choices? Are you perfect? Are you God? I think not. For those saying that if it was your child, I would hope that if something ever happens to one of my children and they're the victim of a horrible crime, that there are people out there who cover true crime like I do, put as many eyes and ears on their cases as they can in order to help others from becoming victims. Raise awareness of the crimes and make sure that the horrific circumstances are never forgotten. For those of you who think I am such a horrible person, check it out for yourself before you lambast me for being a terrible human. I am going live on Patreon to do part 2 of the Gannon Stauch crime scene pics and autopsy. Anyone at the $3 level or above will be able to view the live. Okay. So, who are we to judge? Who am I to judge? Well, how about I defer it to Gannon's grandmother? How's that for a start? So, let's hear what she has to say. She writes, I'm Gannon's Nana. This is devastating. Why would anyone do this? It's breaking our hearts all over again. If this happened to one of your children, it would not happen, so please let our family find some peace. Our hearts will never be the same. This goes out to all families that have lost a loved one. Some people don't have a heart, no feelings at all, so please respect our family. This is a nightmare. Please respect us. I just don't understand why anyone would do this. So, to conclude, I would suggest that Zavgirl and Natasha check themselves. Look deep inside you. Because what you are doing is a disservice. Now, I even have a suggestion on how to improve your content. I highly, highly recommend checking out the Engage with Empathy campaign. Go to MauraMurrayMissing.org and click on the campaign section. There you'll find it. There's a challenge for content creators, and I'll read some of it to you, but please go there and read everything. It reads, True crime exists because of our tragedies, and there is an inherent responsibility to handle them with CARE, care, by Center the Victim, centering the victims and those with the most at stake, balancing public interest with potential harm. Avoid harmful speculation. Consumers drive this industry. Vote with your clicks. Ask if this content furthers the case or simply entertains. Research responsibly. Be critical and curious of content, the veracity of sourcing, and do not accept subjective interpretations as indisputable fact. This helps eliminate the harmful proliferation of misinformation. Engage with empathy. Victims and families did not choose these tragic paths. Engaging with them with a level of sensitivity is crucial in order to prevent exploitation and unfair public indictments of innocent people. If your content doesn't meet that level of standard, then I got news for you. It's trash. Perhaps it's time to find something else to do. Now, I can't enforce that, but I will point it out every time I see it. Until next time.